Wilder by Jemma Borg is a poetry collection which takes its readers by surprise. Natural imagery is clearly Borg's centre of gravity as she returns instinctively to trees, animals, bodies of water, but shoeboxing her work just as nature poetry would be a disservice. Wilder represents a departure from the black and white thinking between culture and nature, man-made and organic, civilized and feral, which is how Western writers have traditionally represented the natural world. Instead, Borg offers us a worldview which is profoundly more enchanted, more messy, more wild. This worldview is woven throughout the collection with a powerful sense of animism, of everything being conscious. Tell me, do you also think, when you hear the goats crying like children, that mind is not ours alone but belongs to everything? Borg invites us to sit with the aliveness of the world beyond humanity. She shares a worldview with us where a marsh thistle is nothing sweet but every part of it a soul, in which landscapes have body and spirit. In building this worldview, Borg draws on a noticeably diverse ecosystem of influences and lived experiences, everything from Dante's Inferno to indigenous rituals to childbirth. The collection also carries a thread of poems about marriage and motherhood, which honestly confused me in my first reading. What helped me understand how this thread tied in with the overarching patterns of the collection and appreciate Wilder's achievements in a new light was revisiting its first and last poems together. In the opening poem, Marsh Thistle, we're met with a strong yearning for rootedness, for resilience. Marsh Thistle sows its sons and daughters back into taproot in the sinking ground. Alone and fiercely it breaks the unmown meadow with its deep rooting and thistle intent. This yearning for rootedness is something which haunts Wilder. By the time we reach Unripe, at the close of the collection, the poet has met this need, both through her child and through conviction in her view of the world. Although the imagery in Unripe is heavy, full of grief for the damaged planet which her son will inherit, Borg shows us in her closing words that she's internalized the lesson she learned from watching the resilient marsh thistle. I could tell him we live in a porous world and that the door is never closed. What ripens the cone if it is not hope? On the very first page of Wilder, Borg presents us with two definitions: wild, from the Old English for open field or woodland, and wilder, an obsolete verb meaning to lose one's way, to bewilder. This collection, to me, is ultimately a slow achievement of balance between these two words. Borg weaves a powerful sense of wildness, of the entanglement of human and more than human life, but by the end of the collection she's no longer bewildered. When watching a peacock butterfly in autumn, the poet observes its slow attention that breeds gentleness. In this collection she demonstrates the same powerful capacity for slow, gentle attention, as she brings together disparate threads from her life into a single vibrant tapestry, inviting us to see wildness not just in landscapes, but in our own bodies and minds. This is a way of relating to life on Earth which broadens the horizons of what nature poetry can achieve. Borg's embrace of conscious life beyond humanity is, to me at least, surprising, given her scientific background in evolutionary genetics, as Western science is generally dismissive of anything that doesn't meet its own standards of objectivity and rationality. Her work gives me hope that new ways of thinking are emerging in Western imaginations in response to the mess which some humans have made of the planet. It gives me hope to know that culturally we are listening to creatives like Jemma Borg, who are fleshing out new ways of coming into relationship with the rest of life on Earth.